and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. I'm so happy you came to hang out with me again. If you are a new viewer, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made, where I sell my handmade progress keepers, my own pattern designs, and hand-dyed yarn. You can find me on Instagram as Crafting Kraken Made. You can also find me and my patterns on Bluff Crafts and Payhip. All the links to my internet places and links to the patterns will be in the description box below. Hey, nailed it. Okay. Hello. How are you? I'm good. Seem to have lost my touch. It's been the usual amount of time since the last podcast. But yeah. So in this podcast I have a finished object. I have some whips, 2 of them which are new, and that's pretty much it. So the main thing I want to talk about before I hop into this is a little question for y'all. So next week is the 2-year anniversary of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. I originally was the Dear Friend podcast, and that's how I started out. But I've been podcasting for 2 years now, which is insane. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. But it also feels like I've been doing this all my life. So, it's a weird mix between the two. But, anyway, next week I was thinking it would be super fun to do it March 26th, which is a Saturday, to have a YouTube live where me and my husband will talk about some yarn that we dyed together that will be going into the shop next week. And what we're working on. We'll do some giveaways in the live chat and answer some questions. And I was just wondering if that would be something that you guys would be interested in. So just let me know down below if that would be a fun thing to do. Okay, so let's just dive right into a finished object. So, I finished my brushstroke socks, and as I'm filming this, they just released today, so this Friday, but for you, it was yesterday. So here they are. I knit these with Dragon Horde yarn in the Pocahontas sock set. It's called Colors of the Wind, and it is so awesome. So I designed this to look a lot like the brushstrokes in paint. So it's just some easy slip stitch patterning. See if I can get it in there. I'll just throw like a little picture in where you can really see it. But this pattern is available on my website right now. And yeah, so it's a fingering weight sock, really easy and actually very addictive with just doing the little slip stitch repeats. It's awesome. Yeah. I feel like I was so prepared to just hop into all the details of the sock, and then my brain totally went blank. So to start off, I'm going to take these off the sock blockers. And I'll talk about this. So, yes, this is a fingering weight sock pattern. It is done toe up. You could do these cuff down if you really like. The patterning is just going to be going in the opposite direction. It is a short row heel done on 2.25 millimeter needles, US 1s. And yeah, you could do this with some crazy yarn. You could do this with a very like a plain tonal, it would look good with any yarn. I really like designing socks that are good for tonals and for your crazy variegated, because there's so many beautiful crazy yarns out there, but it's really hard to find patterns that work for it that aren't like a vanilla sock. So this is one of them. So I highly recommend this pattern. I'm so happy it's out in the world. My testers did such a great job helping me get the pattern together, and they knit some beautiful socks. I have a testers post on my Instagram for you to check it out. So yeah, brushstroke socks by me. It's a new pattern. This is my March pattern. I set the goal for myself to have a pattern out every month. So far, so good. But it is a lot of work to try and keep that creativity going and trying to figure out new stuff to do for the next month ahead. I have an idea for what I'm going to do for April, but I was wondering if you have anything like, oh, I'd really like this kind of pattern, like if you want more sock patterns, cowl patterns. I'm not quite ready for sweaters yet. I'm not in that zone, but do let me know what kind of patterns you want to see. I didn't even talk about what I'm wearing. This is the only like yarn related thing. This is another one of my own designs. This is the D'Artagnan toque, which is a DK weight crocheted toque or hat. It is super comfy. I did this out of Zelina yarns. So it's got, is it merino wool and brushtail possum, and the halo on this guy is amazing. But it's so cozy. I love this hat. So, if you want like a super quick crocheted hat, this is awesome. Yeah, so, I'm all bundled up today because it's kind of cold in here right now. Sorry. Got a little coffee there. It's a little chilly down in my basement right now. I do have a heater that I usually have going for a little while, but it's really loud, even though the heating in the house is on. It's also very loud, so I'm sorry about that, but we just rolling with everything today. So yeah, that is my only finished object. Brushstroke socks, new design. If you're interested, go and grab the pattern. It's so much fun and super addicting to do. Yeah. I'm thinking at some point I would love to do a DK version of this as well. I think that'd be really nice. That's what's fizzling in my brain lately, which will probably lead me into my next work in progress, which is new. I just started it this morning, and there's not much to it. So I thought this would be like a quick show. I've got a tiny little toe going on here. So, at least for my April pattern, I was really wanting to take some of my own sock designs that I've done already and turn them into DK styles or versions, probably be the better word. So some DK versions. I'm working on a DK version of my Ruelle sock, and I want to make a DK I do sock, which would be so much fun. But this is going to be the DK Ruelle sock. I don't actually own a lot of DK, surprisingly. Fingering weight is my main base. I use it for everything. I also just really like how versatile it is, because you can knit a lot of stuff and crochet a lot of stuff with fingering weight, but you can hold fingering weight together and get a super squishy DK weight. So that's what I'm doing here. This is K-Zip Knits in the Root Beer Float colorway. So it's super fun, and I believe this is on an 80-20 blend. It's an 8 ply, so it is super stretchy. Oh, that's fun. Listen. It's got a give. And I'm holding it double to make a really nice squishy DK. So I got a tiny little toe there. I'm using, US, it's written on the cord. So tiny. US 3. Oh dear, it's rubbing off. 3.25 millimeter needles. I'm just doing these magic loop. As I like doing magic loop for my socks. I used to be a big DPN person, but lately I've just been a magic loop person. So, yeah, that is just a very small work in progress. You'll probably see a finished sock in the next podcast episode, hopefully. But I think that's going to be really fun and really cozy, because DK socks are a very new thing. Not an extremely new thing, but becoming a more popular and new thing. There aren't many textured DK sock patterns out there, so I really want to hop on that train before it passes the trend. I do that a lot. I usually come in at the end of trends. Boy, oh boy, I'm just talkative. Crazy talkative today, and then I need to say that I'm talkative and I run out of words. I don't know what's gotten into me today. I'm just a little, I'm happy. I'm excited. I've got caffeine, so this was a nice coffee, but it's kind of melted down and just a chilled coffee. But yeah, so I'm caffeinated and I'm happy, and it's a good day. It's a really good day. And I'm happy to be talking about yarn with you. So I'm sorry if I'm just chattering your ear off. But that's kind of the point of the podcast. But anyway, moving on to next work in progress. So this is my other sock. I don't know if I had this done. Can't remember. Anyway, I've got one done of my Oma socks by Oma Sokken by the kitchen sink. So it is just a really simple ribbed sock. I am knitting this out of my own hand-dyed yarn, just right up here. I've got 2 of these sock sets in the shop right now. This is Watercolor Promises with a mini of Clear Skies. Super fun color. Oh no! I went the mini. I'll get it later. Yeah, so this is it knit up. Is so cool. It gives that very watercolor washed pooling effect. I really love that. So I'm just doing this on size 2.25 millimeter needles, US 1s. I'm just doing the magic loop. So yeah, I got the one done. Then I got sock number 2 going here. That is my own hand-painted Progress Keeper called Sailor's Delight. It's got a little sunset going on there. Some water. It's really hard to show because it's so small. But I'm knitting these toe up. It is a cuff down pattern. I've just always been a toe up person. I don't know why that is, but I really like having my foot done first to know that the main part of the sock that you don't want to run out of yarn with is done and you don't have to think about it. It's easier to have a shorter leg than a shorter foot. So I like doing toe up for stuff. But this one is doing some pretty cool pooling as well. So they will be different, but they're still the same, and I really love having the difference in the pooling. There's the back. I always love the back of this sock. Both of them did really cool stuff. So I just have it split up into 50-gram skeins. I only use like a very small amount of this yarn, which is awesome because then I just have lots of left over to do some scrappy stuff with. So yeah, that is my other pair of socks. I was hoping to have them done for this podcast, so I'd have like both sets of socks done. Sorry if you can hear my brother and my husband talking, but anyway. Yeah, last little show. I can't get over how great this yarn is. The last thing I have to talk about is also a new work in progress that I've been working so much on. I was really like trying my best to not cast on anything new and like finish off old whips. But the thing about doing that for so long is I was feeling really burnt out and bored of all my projects that I had. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna cast something new on, something fresh, and like reignite my knitting mojo. So I cast on a sweater. I've been really wanting to knit a simple worsted sweater. So here it is, and I've split for sleeves, and my thing is I want to knit the sleeves first so that why am I holding it so high? It's my hat. I want to knit the sleeves first so I know that those sleeves are done and I can just use the rest of the yarn to knit the body, because I'm not quite sure if I have enough yarn. Yeah, so this is an awesome pattern. It's the Winter Bluff sweater by Ashley Lillis. It is a free raglan sweater that she has on her website, which is ashleylillis.com. And she has just these free, very simple patterns with YouTube videos to help you along if you need help. So I love that. So far, what I've done on this pattern, my gauge, I don't swatch. So really, I just get so far in the pattern and then I measure it out, and that's my swatch, so to speak, so I know where I'm at. So I cast on for the size 2 sweater, and then when I measured my gauge, I realized it was only slightly smaller. It was like smaller by 2 stitches. So I decided I cast on for the first size 2, and then I just knit the raglan increases till I reach the stitch count for size 3. Sorry about the stomping. My brother's doing a school project. I am knitting this on smaller size needles, 4.5, because I don't like a mesh in my knitting. I don't like being able to see a lot of light through it. I know it's hard to combat that, but I really wanted more of a tight fabric. This is Barocco Vintage. Let's hold up. I have an undone skein here in the color 5103, which I believe is called Holly. They don't leave the word name, but online they do have word names. So this is Holly. It's a very Christmassy green, which I love. And it is 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. So it's got enough wool in there that I'm pretty sure it's going to bloom and fill in the rest of the mesh in there. It's not like super meshy. I love how the fabric turned out. It's really even, but it's still got room to bloom So that is awesome. I think it's going to be really nice. So I've just got one sleeve cast on there. And yeah, the only thing I would note is that she has you use the same size needles for the ribbings on like the collar, the bottom, and the cuffs. And I'd probably go down a little bit smaller because mine is kind of folding over. That's a little bit on my part, but that'll just block out pretty easily. So yeah, that is my other project. I'm really happy with this. I just want to work on it all the time. I probably won't have it done for the next podcast episode. Just laying it there. But it's so nice to finally be working on something new. And also, I'm a little surprised that I chose a sweater, because usually I'm worried of jumping into bigger projects because they're going to get left to the side. Maybe this will get left to the side. I hope not. But we're going to do our best. And it's so nice and soft. I'm not really worried about the acrylic at all in the yarn. I think this is a really good lower priced option. This is a worsted weight. It's a worsted weight pattern. She also has this pattern available for a bulky weight sweater, but I'm just doing it worsted. So yeah, I just have this. I haven't shown this bag off in a long time. I haven't used it in a long time. This is my ink bag. She doesn't make bags anymore, unfortunately, but it's super cute polka dot with a window in there. And then I've got all my buttons. It says I won a chicken race. And I've got, I traded furs in Fort St. James, which I lived there for a while. Her button ink, and then I have the Woolen Homestead, and then a Knit Picks pin that says I knit past my bedtime. So I got all my pins on this bag, and it's really nice. It holds a lot of good memories. It's a great bag. So that is all my works in progress. I have been doing a bit of knitting on my Bits and Bobs blanket, but it's not enough to really show it off again. My goal to knit a color a week kind of fell off the wagon, but I did get distracted. I really wanted my brushstroke socks done in time for the release, because it wouldn't be the first time that I haven't actually finished a full pair of socks in time for a release. Oops. But I was this time. So, gold star for me there. So that's all my works in progress. I do have a little bit more for the podcast. Wanted to bring my husband on to show off his blanket that he's almost done. So it's very exciting to show it off. So we'll probably just hop into that next.
Really? It's still kind of there. But not really. It's better.
If you like look down.
Cleaning them helps too.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Got Ezra back. Cowboy.
For a minute.
For real. Yep.
Apparently I have to show progress on my blanket.
Yeah.
Well, not mine, but my project. Mm-hmm. So, how long has it been? It's been a while.
It's been like
a month.
A month, yeah.
And a half, I think. Because originally this was 2 skeins of, I don't remember where the ball band is, but
Knit Picks.
It was Knit Picks Stroll, the blue.
And they were 50 grams each, so it was technically 1 skein of yarn.
Mm-hmm. With black.
Yeah.
Black.
With black.
So that was like 2. Like it was like 200 grams or just under, whatever. But I decided that was too small. So my mom gave me 9
Knit Pick Stroll
Tweed. These are so messy. So, kind of the same thing.
Let's see.
So...
I want to see what color it is.
Oh,
Forest Heather.
So now, it's twice as big and green. I don't know how to hold these things up. Ta-da!
Takes up, back it up a little bit. There we go. It looks cool.
I made a blanket. Almost.
Almost there.
Almost. Oh, that is
close.
less to go than I thought. It's taking so long to do this part.
It has doubled in size than what originally you thought it was going to be.
But it's great.
Yep.
I love it.
So it's a whole lot of nitpicks in here because it's Nitpick Stroll Glimmer.
And then the Stroll Tweed.
And the Stroll Tweed. And then...
Did you already show this?
Yes, I did.
I didn't see that. And I don't know what the black is.
The black is Nitpicks Hawthorne Kettle Dyed. Yes. Blackbird.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Blackbird. And then...
And last.
Yep. The first skein of yarn, I did remember, it was from Hey Sister Yarn Co., who don't dye anymore. But
it doesn't look very square in there either.
No, that looks like a diamond, but...
Well, it's kind of... I think my tension is bad enough that it's kind of a diamond anyways.
It'll block out.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, there's no, not really using a pattern. It's originally from, the dishcloth style.
That I used to do.
Yeah.
And I've got my own progress keeper on there.
Right up here.
Why are we so far from the camera?
There we go. Back up a little bit there. Yeah, he made that.
I made two, actually.
Yeah, you got one.
I got both on there.
Too. Yeah.
It's cake.
It's cake.
It's a family recipe. I think it's on the back of the
Zebra
wafers
cake?
box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just look at chocolate wafers and then there's a thing on the back. Dream Whip and wafers. And that's it.
It's delicious.
Anyways. Yeah. What size are these? They are US 7 4.5 millimeters.
There we go.
If you're wondering.
So yeah, it's
that's about it.
Mm-hmm. We're using the same pattern idea that I'm doing with my Advent blanket.
Did you show that today?
I haven't done any work on it.
You told me what you were going to show and I can't remember.
Oh, it's right here. But yeah, I've done very little work on this, but might as well
pick it up the other day.
Yep. But same idea. I'm just using it with my minis, using 2.75.
So you want some help?
Millimeter, yeah. Give it a little.
These are so long. It's going to be big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's my little bit, but yeah. So, so we're using the same blanket idea, and I'm thinking once this blanket is done, I'll write a blanket recipe, which is it's not exactly a pattern, but it's guidelines to how to make your own.
Man, I haven't seen this recently. That's cool.
Thank you.
I saw you work on, I think on this color just the other day.
Mm. So I've
this one, but
got 5 colors left.
One,
I'm almost
2, 3,
done.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, you're on color 7 out of 12 in there.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So it's getting there.
I kind of know.
Yeah.
This is fancy.
So all the blankets going on here, which is good.
I don't know what that is.
It's the Sparkle Progress Keeper that Amy Kate gave me.
Oh, it's one of those ones.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Gotta block out our faces.
There we go.
There we go.
Something like that.
Well, yeah. So to hop on, give a blanket update. Yeah. It'll probably be done by the next time, next week.
It better be. Because.
Yeah.
Well,
and if you're new here, this is a blanket that
it's a baby blanket.
It's a baby blanket for our nephew, who is now born.
Yeah, he was born in the middle of February, the 13th, I think.
Yep.
So it's a little late, but we technically haven't seen him yet. Haven't gone up there, but we were thinking about seeing him the first weekend in April. Did we figure? I think that's the idea. Something like that. So I've got what's the 18th. So I've got about 2 weeks to finish it.
Just enough time.
Which, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I would finish like this week, and then it just kind of dragged on. And I kind of slowed down for now.
But you're so close.
She says that. It feels like a lot.
So close. But, yeah. So, thanks for coming on again.
Thank you for having me. Thank you all for commenting. It was kind of cool to read. Well, it was really cool to read that people actually listen to that part.
We love you.
Wouldn't have. I hate my own voice. I hate the sound of it. I think that's pretty normal for people. But it just
it's a very average
really
thing. I
me.
don't like rewatching my own podcast. Like, it's just a normal thing to just.
I guess so. It just bugs me so much.
But yeah. So I did talk about originally in the beginning of the podcast about like the live next week.
Yeah. Apparently we're doing that.
We'll do it together. If you guys want to, let us know in the comments down below, because that's how comments work. Crazy.
We're so smart.
I know. So yeah, thanks for joining me and us. And
Thank you all.
yeah, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye. Bye.